Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one, self-love above anything else. Unlock peace and happiness.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to At the Root of It. My name is Shannon, and tonight we are going to bring a very sensitive topic. Tonight's episode is called The Thin Line Between Bitter and Better. Now, the disclaimer is that on here, our goal, hey D, hey Tifa, our goal is to create Jesus, I just lost my train of thought. Create our mission statement. I'm sorry. Our mission statement is actually to create a community of men and women that is on a self-healing journey. Now, in order to really heal, you have to really acknowledge some very hard to acknowledge things, right? And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this particular subject, the thin line between bitterness and being better, is because I just experienced it. And it just really, I had to catch myself with it because something happened that was personal, right? That I said, okay, I didn't like how this happened, and I was very resentful. So let me give you some definitions really quickly, because when I looked up bitterness, right, the definition of bitterness is, now it's two. The bitterness is, of course, having a sharp and pungent taste or smell, or number two is of people or their feelings or behavior, angry, hurt, or resentful because of one's bad experiences or a sense of unjust treatment, right? So who has been treated unfair? Who feels like they got the short end of the stick? Who feels like they've always had to be acceptable of how people treat them and things of that nature, or jealousy, envy. Now, these two emotions, and I said this all the way back in early 2000s when I first got saved, right? And I used to, what God dropped in my spirit is that envy and jealousy are the two emotions that you cannot control. The reason why I say that, and the reason why I believe that God dropped that in my spirit at the time, was because we can control if we're angry. We just have to make a cognizant decision to say, I'm not going to be angry. I'm going to choose to not respond. That's our choice. But when jealousy and envy comes upon you, it takes over you. Okay? It just comes upon you. And if we're honest about it, we'll know that it's a buildup from the belly, and it just builds up. But if you don't acknowledge that feeling, right, you'll always deal with jealousy and envy, which is a borderline or a conduit for bitterness. Now, there's circumstances that has happened in my life that it should have made me bitter. It should have made me not ever want to date men ever in my life again. It should have made me never want to open myself up to people, to having friends, because the people that's closest to you are the people that hurt you the most, right? So as you're walking your journey and you think that you're fine because you gotten over it, but bitterness stems from an unforgiveness. So we know, like, again, I don't force my beliefs on anybody. Okay, I will never force my beliefs on anyone, but I know that when I had to really understand that forgiveness is not for the other person, and the forgiveness is for you so that you won't be bitter, and it's so that you can be forgiven. One of the things that my grandmother said to me, she said, when I was betrayed, and I didn't understand why. And I was like, why am I the only, why do I have to be understanding? Why do I have to be the only one to be the bigger person? And she said, Shannon, you never need God to forgive you for anything. And I said, of course I do, Grandma. And she says, well, then forgive quickly and go. And I said, okay, fine. I'll forgive quickly, but I won't forget. Now, I was just saved and just starting to read the word for myself. So I know that I think it's 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians, where it says, forgetting those things that are in the past. Tifa, which one? Where's that scripture at? But forgetting those things that are in the past and pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high calling. So she said, well, the Bible did say forgetting those things. So not only are we to forget, but we're also to forgive, forgive and forget, because we are to walk in the likeness of God. And God throws our sins and our things that we do into a sea of forgetfulness. Okay? So I'm going to give you the clinical things that I read. Now, mind you, I'm going to give you my disclaimer. I'm not a clinical doctor. I only Philippians. Oh, I was so far off. Well, isn't 1 Corinthians next to Philippians? Anyway, so I give the disclaimer out right now. I'm not a clinical doctor. I'm only speaking from the experiences that I have endured and went through myself. And I hope that my experiences can help you get through your experiences. And that's why I'm sharing it. Okay. So, I was doing some research. It says, what does God say about bitterness? Okay. So in Hebrews 12 and 14 and 15, it says, see to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. Bitterness is toxic, y'all. That's not in the Bible, but bitterness is toxic. Okay? And listen to what it says, that no root, okay, let's get to the root of this thing, right? That no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble. Bitterness causes trouble, per the Bible. I ain't say it, he did. All right? And by it, many become defiled. And they don't even know it. We don't even know it. Okay? So let's just make sure that we're mindful about that. Now, it's some signs of a bitter person. All right? So one of the signs is that they generalize. Okay? They hold grudges. They like the sound of their own voice. They're jealous, but they make no changes. They seek attention. They struggle to accept advice, and they don't like cheerful people. Now, I've seen it firsthand. I remember I used to talk to my niece's mother, And I used to tell her, "You're bitter." And she said, "What? What makes me bitter?" Because you're not happy. Everything that has happened in your past has chipped away at your heart. And unbeknownst to you, or not even chipped away, has piled ice onto your heart. So that now you're not even feeling. Now you're expecting the worst. Now you're pessimistic. You're not optimistic. Everything is half empty. Nothing works. Everything can go wrong. You just a negative Nancy. Always see the negative part of things and never can see the good. You got to check yourself to make sure that the past things that you have gone through is not dictating your mindset and how you act and respond to people now. Because it can be things that happened 10 years ago to you that is still taking a hold of you and have you bound up, and you're wondering why you can't find love, or you don't have friends, or people don't want to be around you, or these things matter, and it's because of the vibration that you give off, right? So let's see. Okay, so Dio said that's that hateration. I don't know what was you saying that about, but Dio said that's that hateration. And Roger said that's hurt on top of hurt on top of hurt and never letting it go. Right. So this is the main reason why at the root of it is where it is, because we have to get to the root of the issues that we go through. We can't keep compiling hurts. We can't keep building a whole building to surround us, a whole fort of hurt, and not releasing it. Because then we'll never be happy. Come on, we got to get it together. And we got to understand that we are the co-creators of our own destiny and that we have to choose. God loved us so much that he gave us free choice. Are we going to freely choose to be bitter, nasty, cantankerous, contentious? Are we going to choose that? Are we going to choose joy? Are we going to choose peace? Because joy gives you strength. That's what the Bible says. It says the joy of the Lord shall give you strength. So if you are walking around with no joy, baby girl, baby boy, you are not strong. You're not strong in your stance. You're not strong in your ideologies. You're not strong in what you see, because you have to keep your joy. If you don't do anything, we fight for a whole bunch of stuff that don't even need to be fought for. Fight for your joy. Fight for your peace. Fight for your life. Fight. Because we get bitter while the person that did the things to us to make us feel that way, they're living their life. They're living their life. They're not worried about you. They're not worried that they hurt you. They're not even worried that you can't move forward in your life because of what they did. It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to us to get a group of people that can support us through our time of hurt, to help us heal through it, and then release. Okay? You gotta release. You gotta release. Now, Roger said, horrible foundation, bitterness, the building will crumble at some point, which is your life. Yes. All of a sudden, you're alone. And you're mad that you're alone. And you don't understand why, but you're holding all of this stuff. You allowed people, places, and things to get into your head, to make you feel like you're less than, to make you resentful of all the time that you spent, the money that you spent, the energy that you spent. Well, I want to change your vantage point. See, this show is about perception, right? Yes, it does, Tifa. Bitterness is isolation's best friend. I like that. It really is. Because when you're bitter, you don't want to be around people. Because now you're looking at people like they're crazy. Because, and it's just really sad. I know that I fought through it. I fought through it because I don't want to be bitter. I saw bitterness firsthand. And she argued me down. No, I'm not bitter. I just know what I know now. No. You saw that head movement? She knew what she knew. She had an attitude. She was still mad. You got to let it go. I think you better let it go. Doom, doom, doom. Do. If not, you gonna be taken out. Now I'm just playing. It'll just be another TKO. And you done got knocked out. And Smokey is standing over you and saying, you got knocked out. And you letting it. You understand what I mean? You're letting it. We have the power to cut the ties, to understand that these things that we go through in our life is lessons that is here to teach us and to propel us, not to hold us down. God is not a God that wants us to stay the same. He wants us to grow. He wants us to live. He wants our soul to be in health, He wants us to be in health even as our soul prospers. He wants us to prosper in every area of our life. And we allow these people who have ill intent towards us to come and steal from us. Steal. Thieves. Thieves are in your house. Thieves are in your house. Thieves is in your head. Thieves are surrounded around you. The people who feed into your woe is me. No. Get rid of them and get some people that's going to talk life and speak life into your life so that you won't be stuck. We're not meant to be stuck, y'all. That's an attack and a trap of the enemy. Because what I said last week, this is the only thing that don't get saved. That's why God told us to renew it daily. We have to renew this daily. We have to think of things that are above. We have to think of things that is lovely, that are good. And that will supersede all the resentment, because people, I'm going to drop a jewel, and I know y'all know, but people treat you how you allow them to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. We have accepted things. We have accepted things, accepted how people treat us. And one of the things that stopped me was when I learned the lesson, I said, God, well, what is the lesson in this? And I heard be concise, be straight to the point, say what you mean and mean what you say. And I was like, okay, so that was the lesson, because I was being passive opposed to speaking my mind and speaking my truth. Okay, so I found something on Google, and I'm gonna read it to you guys because I want y'all to see this thing. This thing is crazy, okay? Crazy, crazy, crazy. But it's 12 steps to overcome bitterness, okay? Hi, Annie Carter. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, Tifa, so much for inviting her. D, that's right. No pity parties. We can't. We don't have time for pity parties. There's no way that we can have a pity party and find joy. You can't do it. You can't do both. You know. So you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. So the 12 steps to overcoming bitterness. I found this on. Let's see what website this is. Harley Therapy. Okay, so it says anger involves outrage followed by actions as you decide how best to handle your situation. Bitterness can feel worse than anger because it involves feeling helpless. Oh, I like that. Be either hot or cold. Yeah, because lukewarm, he spews out his mouth, right? So bitterness can feel worse than anger because it involves feeling helpless. Referred to as embitterment is in psychology circles. Bitterness happens when you feel there is no action left to take because everything is out of your control. While it might be true, you can't change what happened that has left you bitter. You can't undo it if you were in an accident or get back the promotion that your colleague won instead. You can take action to move forward in your life away from bitterness. Now it says, is overcoming bitterness worth the effort? I think that question is rhetorical. I don't think you even need to ask that. Peace and pity are impossible roommates. Yes, one is dirty, one is clean, right, Annie? One don't make up the bed, and one side is clean and the other side got clothes and stuff hanging on it. It's just it can't coexist, right? So I'm not even going to read what they said. Well, maybe. So it says bitterness not only causes symptoms of trauma like sleeplessness, fatigue, and lack of libido, it can, in the long term, lead to low self-confidence, negative personality shifts, and an inability to have a healthy relationship. So it's worth looking at, okay? It says it can give you low self-confidence, negative personality shifts, and an inability to have a healthy relationship. I'm not going to allow anybody to have that much power over my life. I am the co-creator of my destiny, and I will not allow people the power. I cannot give people the power to keep me bound like that. I won't. I refuse. As we say, we'll laugh in the face of adversity before I do that. Right? Hey, hi, I love you. Thank you. You know, that's right, D. Hey, Nardi. But we got to understand and know that we have to take those steps. It's not just going to automatically go away. No, because it'll fester and grow like mold. You understand what I mean? Mold grows, or moss. Don't that grow just uncontrollably? How they get there? And then how they get all over the house? It just grows, okay? So what can you do if you are stuck in the bitterness trench and can't climb out? Here are 12 ways to start dealing with your resentment. Ivy, okay, yes, Ivy. People and the world don't bring me my joy. Amen. No, they don't. They can't. They can't, because God said that man will fail you every time. So why would you put your joy, your peace in the hands of somebody that you can't trust? We are too trusting, okay? We trust people too soon. We don't set the healthy boundaries that we need because we're either in a lonely place, because I've been there, you know? All right. Well, that's where bitterness grows, in the darkness. Thank you, Ro. I'm telling you, it's just like we got to catch that thing. We got to catch it. Okay, so the first thing it says, do a serious re-evaluation. Bitterness thrives on sympathy. And often, in telling our stories to others, we stop telling the truth to ourselves about what really happened and what is truly upsetting us. Right? Yeah, Tipa, you said that to me. You said I started 100, right? I'm supposed to start at 0, and they got to work their way to 100, right? You just told me that yesterday. I want to read that again. I want y'all to hear this. Bitterness thrives on sympathy. And often in telling our stories to others, we stop telling the truth to ourselves about what really happened and what is truly upsetting us. Ask yourself good questions to dig deeper into facts and feelings. Journaling, which, of course, I don't have my book here, but you can get the At the Root of It book, the journal. We got a pen and a book. And I couldn't find my book. That's so crazy. But where you can start journaling these things. Because we think that, okay, we cried about it, it's over, I'm healed. No. How deep is that root? How deep is it? How many times have we gotten hurt? And how many times have we piled stuff on top of each other, We think that we done cut something down and we only touched a branch, and we got a whole tree to cut down. We gotta know. We gotta be realistic. We gotta just be realistic. Okay. Journaling can be a great tool, as well as a counselor. Okay. So if you were the victim, no. I was like, if you were the victim of fraud, okay. So reevaluate the thing that was actually lost to you. Okay. Do you still want it? Is it still attainable? Or is it all something you really have long since outgrown? I'm gonna say that again because as I'm reading it, it's like pouring into my heart. Okay, so reevaluate the thing that was actually lost. Reevaluate it because sometimes we dramatize. Go. We dramatize and we luxurize some relationships that doesn't even need that wasn't even all of that. It wasn't even worth it. And we mad because we wasn't worth it. So now we got to forgive them and we got to forgive ourselves. Okay? So it says reevaluate the thing that was actually lost. Do you still want it? Do you even still want it? Why are you mad? Is it still attainable? Can you even receive it? Naughty helped me with that. Naughty was like, you wasn't in a committed relationship. I was like, right. Listen. Or is it all something you really have long since outgrown? You probably didn't want it anyway. But because you wasn't the one that ended it, see that? My God. That was a very for that behind. Listen to that. You probably outgrown it anyway. But because you probably wasn't the one that facilitated the breakup or facilitated the separation, then, you know what I mean? What is it? Because you couldn't say, I'm leaving you first? Is it a contest? Probably. Probably. And then we say, we accept things. We were like, oh, well, we were this and we were that. You're over luxurizing. You wasn't nothing. You wasn't nothing. Okay, I got it. You'd be surprised how many people hold a grudge over the loss of something they discovered they no longer even want. You holding a grudge and you don't even want it. That's useless energy for me. That's really useless energy for me, yo. Like, I'm not going to be, I don't have time to think on those things. Okay. The second one is, it said, put your story on hold. Ask for the story about what happened to you. What would happen if just or a week or even a few days you take a break from telling it. Stop talking about it. I like that advice. It said, put your story on hold. You want to know why? And I didn't even read this yet. I just saw it and I knew that it would be really good meat for people to eat. So it says, stop talking about it. When you're repeating it, you keep talking about it, it stays forever fresh. So you can't get over it. It'll keep going over and over and over again because you keep reliving it. You keep reliving it. Stop talking about it. Give it a rest. Take a break from telling it. It says telling the story of what happened to you to those whose job it is to help you, or because you are trying to find new and positive ways to deal with your situation is one thing. But telling the story of what happened to you again and again in a negative way to everyone you meet is often a form of keeping yourself stuck in victimhood. My. So what I think it is, release it, speak about it, and release it. God said, be angry, sin not. Be angry, get mad. Just toss tables, do all of that. But then release it. Let it go. Right. God forgives and forgets. We just love to hang on to stuff just like babies. It's a hot mess. It is. The more you talk, the more it festers. Right. Stop talking about it. Because it is a form of victimhood. Now you want sympathy. Now you want sorrow. Now you want somebody to feel oh so bad for you. Okay. Get that out and then release. Okay? It might be harder than you think to mention, to not to mention. Wait, let me say that again. Oh wait, let me see. I saw something. Amen to you too. Okay, I'm going on. Oh, you haven't touched it. Maybe you need to touch your table, Roger. Maybe you need to maybe. Yes, negative attention is still attention. That's like negative press is still good press because now you in everybody's face and everybody's ear, Okay. So what does it say? It might be harder than you think to not mention what happened to you at all for some time, but give it a try. Enlist friends to keep you on track, or try putting a rubber band around your wrist and pinging it just enough to cause you a sting each time you find yourself telling your story again. This is a thought to train the brain away from entrenched patterns. Oh, I don't have one. I normally have a thing. Pop yourself. You see that, T? She sure did add the S. She messy. No, she's not. What she is she's a spell check. That's so funny. She just spells check. She was like, oh, you missed the S. But anyway, so get a rubber band, everybody. Pin yourself. Pop yourself so that it stings. It will remind you not to talk about it because you're giving it power. You're giving a person power, and you don't have power. You're stuck. It's a self-sabotaging thing. It's not healing. It's a self-sabotaging. Hey, Jin Jin, how you doing, booby? It's a self-sabotaging thing to keep repeating the story over and over and over. You'll never get over it. Okay. Number 3. Take responsibility. Take what responsibility you can. Okay, that's what it says. As for that victimhood that your story generates, if you are a victim, you are helpless. Of course, not all situations contain personal responsibility. If you are bitter that a loved one died in a senseless war, there is nothing you did to make that happen. But many people who are bitter know they had a part in what took place, but are too ashamed to admit it. If you are bitter that you lost a substantial amount of money in a scam, were there signs you chose to overlook or research you knew you should have done, but chose not to? Did you ignore warning signs and jump into an unwise relationship, or ignore your friend's warnings that your partner was a cheat? Ask yourself those questions. Did you? Right. They don't get no wins in their casa. Right? They don't. I used to use that method when I had bad thoughts. Right. Oh, I'm not, baby. Listen, that's why I put the disclaimer out. Like, if any of this applies, apply it. Because we all want to heal. We all want to be free. We all want to be loved. And we have to get rid of all of these things that convolute who we are. It's just a mixture of stuff. You know what I mean? So, it just applies to many. Right, like she said, like Tifa said, it applies to many. Like, we have to take ownership. Acknowledgement. I remember, I forgot which show it was on when I said that the enemy keeps us trapped by us hiding things that we've gone through because we're ashamed of the different sins or the different things that we've gone through. He stops our testimony, but it says confess your sins one to another. The reason why that's in there is because once you release it, it can't hold you no more. But you can't release it and then release it again because, oh, woe is me. No more woe is me. This is a new day, a new dawn, a new day, and I'm feeling good. Now I'm just like, but you know what I mean? Like, you gotta We gotta do better. And so in order to do better, we have to know. We have to know and we have to acknowledge. We have to be in the know. We have to know that we didn't do everything right, and we have to forgive ourselves. Forgive it and forgive them. Forgive ourselves for missing the signs. Not even missing the signs, ignoring the signs, because we be ignoring stuff. Okay. Number 4 says stop spying. Stop spying. So it says, unfortunately, today's technology and social media provides the perfect fodder for bitterness if there are other people involved. Spying on a person who triggered your upset is really a form of self-torture. I need bells. Ring a ding ding ding. Ring it. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all, was that just me? Was I just happy that I read that? Listen to that. Spying on the person who triggered your upset is really a form of self-torture that involves comparing yourself to others unfavorably, and inevitably it lowers self-esteem because now you're comparing yourself. You're saying, well, does she look better than me? Does she treat him better than me? What about, I know my hair is nappy. Look, she has straight hair. Look, I'm kind of fat. I got, I got a poopa. Look, she's skinny. Don't do that. I did that. I did that because I didn't think I was pretty. So it was so many different things. Like I was like, oh, she looks better than me. She has more than me. But you know what? Let me tell you something. What I don't have in monetarily or tangible things, I have in spiritual gifts, right? So stop comparing yourself. I don't compare myself to nobody. I am Shannon Michelle Willis. I am who I'm going to be, and you are going to be who you're going to be. Stand firm. Know who you are, and stop worrying about what other people are doing. That was rejection is God's protection. Listen to that. What about that? What if he said no because that man or that woman was going to bring something to you that you couldn't get rid of? What if he was saying no because he brought you, he didn't hit you, but he's gonna? What if, just what if? What if? We don't know why God says no. What if it's the reason, what if he said no because he heard conversations that you wasn't privy to? That people don't really like you like they say they do. Or they really, really just using you. And he'll say, no, give me that small little teddy bear. I should have had the kids' teddy bears out here. Give me that teddy bear. I want to exchange it. I want to give you a better gift. Because the one that you got right now is not sustainable. It won't sustain the test of time. It can't go where you're going. Because where I want to take you, he, she, them can't go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And you know what? I'm talking to myself too. Believe me, I'm adamant because I'm talking to myself too. Because I wonder why too. I wondered why in different relationships, why that didn't work. And it brought on insecurities. Oh, maybe she had a nice smile because I don't like my smile. Maybe she's smaller than me. Maybe she has more than me. You know what I mean? Because men are gold diggers too. Or men, I don't want to say gold diggers because men like established women like established men. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have enough. You know what I mean? And then your mind start playing tricks on you saying, well, what did she have that I didn't? What did he have that I didn't? That's not your place to worry about it. It's not your place to worry about it. Because if he wanted that person in your life, he would have been there. Because when God brings stuff and people to you, it brings no sorrow. As far as now, will we have problems, ups and downs? Sure, we will. But Would it bring sorrow? Would it hurt you to your core? Sometimes people hurt you, but if it's for you, they'll care that they hurt you that bad. They'll care that they hurt you. You know how many people don't care that they hurt you? They don't care that they hurt you. But you care. I think you care too much. Sometimes we care too much. Sometimes we love on people who don't even deserve that type of love. And sometimes we don't know because we know the different I'm hot, y'all. I got 3 lights and I'm sweating. I'm so hot. Oh my God. Roger, can you please come and bring me this towel? I'm hot. But anyway, sorry, y'all. I forgot my train of thought because I'm so hot. Are y'all laughing at me? Y'all can laugh. Y'all laughing? Please laugh. Wait. Okay, so they just want what they want and not realize what they have till it's gone. Of course. It's right there. Of course. That is the main thing. I don't have a fan, Jen, I swear. I'm hot. The pause is bothering me. Pause. Like anyway, yeah, they don't know what they have until it's gone. And then they want to come back and what is that? Love bomb? Love bomb you and oh, how I love you. Let me count the ways. Oh, you are the moon, the stars, and the mountains. And then you give them what they want. And then they like, okay, I don't want to talk to you. I don't have any words to say. I don't owe you an explanation. Didn't I say that we're not together? Didn't I say we just, oh, really? You didn't say that when you needed what you needed from me. And I'm not talking about sex or anything. It could be anything. It could be a meal. You understand what I mean? It could be anything. Nah, this far, no further. We cutting that off. It's not happening. You understand? We have to say it with authority. I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing you to do that. So stop doing it. Okay? Stop triggering yourself. Stop self-torturing yourself. Okay, number 5, I'm gonna keep moving because we got 15 minutes. Okay, face up to your hidden fears. Bitterness often is a perfect disguise for a fear of change or of failing. What y'all think about that? Bitterness often is a perfect disguise for a fear of change or of failing. Because that still falls under the comparison. Because the bitterness comes that, are you serious? I thought that this was it, right? And now it's like, what if what I thought was it is not it, and the it that I thought was coming never comes. Now you got that fear, like I'm gonna be by myself. I don't know about the fear of change. I don't know, because I like change. If you're not willing to change, then there's no growth. How can you change? I mean, how can you grow if you don't change? Oh, you know how people say, oh, that's just me. That's just what I do. No, that's a cop-out. That's a cop-out for people to continue their foolishness and not fix themselves. Don't accept that. Oh, I'm just how I am. No. You can change. It is all about your mindset. It's all about what you decide. You decide. You decide. Take ownership. You decide. No. I'm not going to do this. You know, I'm not going to do this. I won't do it. Tifa said, that's why you see 65-year-olds with baby hair. They are. I just threw the rag at you. You're so silly. With baby hair, teeth. Ah. Okay. Oh, that was funny. I'm sorry. It's so silly. Number 6, forgive, but only at your own pace. Forgiveness is a great psychological release, but only if you are ready and it's real. See, you can't fake the funk on it. You know what I mean? You can't fake the funk, because if you say you forgive, God might put that person right back in your place, right back in your face. How you gonna treat them? How you gonna respond to them? Are you gonna be nasty? Or are you gonna be nice? You may, not give as much conversation, but are you gonna be like, I see you trying to cause havoc, right, D? I see you. You know? That's all you gotta do. Okay, I see you now. I know where to put you. We have to compartmentalize people sometimes. Sometimes. Okay, sorry. All right. Fake forgiveness can be a way of just denying how you feel, or even hold you back from processing emotions and situations properly. Did I get that? Fake forgiveness can be a way of just denying how you feel, or even hold you back from processing emotions and situations correctly. I like that. First of all, we can't fake forgiveness from our Heavenly Father. He knows our heart. We ask Him to search our heart. If you didn't forgive, He knows. You gotta forgive. I mean, you gotta forgive, and you gotta forgive yourself the most, because we really are hard on ourselves. And sometimes we're bitter against our own selves, not even the people who did it, but for the fact that we fell for the okie doke. Like, dumb. So what? We make mistakes. Brush yourself off and try again. Try again. Number 7. And don't forget to forgive yourself. I said it. I ain't even know. I ain't even know it. I ain't even knew it. I ain't even know it. Okay, but anyway. This might be the hardest, but most important part of moving on from bitterness. Finding ways to reframe what happened in ways that show yourself compassion can be a great release. I'm going to say that again. Finding ways to reframe what happened in ways that show yourself compassion can be a great release. Okay? We got to release. Remember, I know I'm showing my age, but we used to watch A Different World, right? And remember when Whitley was trying to get Denise to do something? She said, Denise, you got to relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. Remember that? We need to relax, relate, release. We got to. Okay? And show yourself compassion. If you feel overwhelmed at this thought again, don't be afraid to seek support. Bitterness is a hard thing for anyone to get over. Or sometimes the strongest thing you can do is admit you need help. You might want to try a round of compassion-focused therapy, a new kind of psychotherapy exclusively geared to help you be easier on yourself. You have to be easy on yourself. You cannot beat yourself up. We are human, and like I said, God is here everything that we go through, there's lessons in it. Hey, Tange, you okay, boo? You can rewind. But we have to, where was I? I said hi. I always get sidetracked. But we really have to forgive ourselves. We have to understand that we're fallible. We're not perfect. You know what I mean? We're not perfect. And we'll make mistakes. But like I told my daughter all the time when she was growing up, what did you learn? You have to learn your lessons in it so that you won't repeat it. You understand what I mean? Good evening, sis. I love you. I gotta call you, okay? Number 8, step into the now. Stop living back there. Love don't live there anymore. Stop living there. Stop going there. Relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. So into the now. Bitterness often consists of dining out. What? Like, let me reread this. Let me reread this. Okay. Y'all see my nose getting stuffy on this thing? And ain't no fan. It happens every Sunday. It doesn't matter. Okay, wait. Bitterness often consists of dining out on the awful thing that happened to you and fantasizing about revenge or thoughts of where you'd be now if things had gone differently. Who has done that? We have to stop the illusions and the delusions, okay? Because people show us who they are. We just have to believe them. You understand what I mean? They show us. They give us clues. They give us red flags. They give us flag on the play. You know what I mean? Foul. Out of bounds. We tend to ignore those things because we want to be loved. So we accept things. And we continue to accept things, hoping and praying that somebody would change. And they not. Because people change for the people they want to change for. And sometimes we're not those people. But that's because rejection is God's protection. You gotta receive. You gotta receive it. In other words, it says, in other words, it lives in the past and the future. So let me read that again. Bitterness often consists of dining out on the awful thing that happened to you and fantasizing about revenge or thoughts of where you'd be now if things had gone differently. In other words, it lives in the past and in the future. How can you live? How can you have joy now if you live in there and there? How? How? How are you pulled? You're pulled. How can you do it? You can't. You got to let one of them go. And most of the time, when people tend to lean on the bitterness side, they let the future go and stick with the past. Now the past is the past. Forgetting those things that are in the past and pressing toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Jesus Christ. Or however y'all feel. Y'all may not, I'm not forcing my beliefs, but I'm just telling you what works for me. Okay? There's nothing back there. It's dead. Just what I said a minute ago is gone. Relax, relate, release. Okay, let me speed up because I got 4 more to go. And I want to get this done. We got 6 minutes. Okay? It said, get into the now moment by concerning yourself with current opportunities and goals that are about you and a positive future. Let me say that again. Get into the now moment by concerning yourself with current opportunities and goals that are about you and a positive future. One of the best techniques for staying now centered is mindfulness. Be mindful of yourself. A tool now used by many therapists with their clients is to train you to constantly check in with your feelings. Become conscious of the thoughts that are distracting you and learn to notice the good things right in front of you. So I know that this cup right here with cranberry juice is a good thing right in front of me. But if I didn't have it, it would be distracting me. Okay? I was trying to find, I was trying look at Ro talking about take your time. Okay, number 9, branch out. Bitterness tends to fade in the face of excitement and joy. Have you lost your joy? Where your joy at? You mad? Tell me why you mad, son. This is your 4th album? What's good? You know what I mean? I just sounded straight New York all day. That's so crazy. But bitterness tends to fade in the face of excitement and joy. In other words, new and better experiences. Explore a long time interest. Reconnect with others. Choose some new things to put into your life. Find you. Find you. Find out what makes you happy, but outside of the house. Because when you're inside of the house, right, you the thoughts will still come back. Go outside, get into nature, ground yourself. Have, go do something that you always wanted to do. Like, you have to get your joy back. That's right. That's right. You have to, right. Look, my journey. Yes, yes. You have to find who you are. When I first started acting, before I even started at the root of it, I had to write my prayer. I wrote my prayer out, and I asked God to give me the blueprint of my life, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. People just like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And it's like, but okay, so I like to decorate, right? I like to decorate. I had another business before I had at the root of it, and it was called Accessories by Shay. So I did home accessories. I would make vases. I would customize all these things. I made flip-flops. I made everything, right? But was that my soul's purpose? Was that what God wanted me to do with my life? No, because if he did, he would have opened the door for me to expand that. And I searched. I looked into it. I looked to be an intern so that I could get more knowledge, because school was too expensive. And all of this, to learn textiles and textures and things of that nature, to be good at my craft. But God said, no. Everything that you need is on the inside of you already. All you got to do is tap into it. Tap into your good things that you do very well. Let me tell you something. I've been talking my behind off for years. For years. Who would have knew it? Who would have knew that this was the path that he had for me? But I took the time, because although I opened at the root of it in December, I asked God in July. It took time. It was not a rush job. It did not take 2 weeks. It did not take 2 months. It was time. He had to pour in. He had to show me. He had to formulate it, because I never did it. But then he would talk to me. He talked to me. He said, I would say, God, how can I do this? I've never been a business owner. He said, but you've helped run businesses. You've been administrative assistants. You know how to send emails. You know how to process paperwork. You know how to read XYZ. You already have done it to propel other people's visions. Now do it for you. Find your purpose. Find what you like to do. Don't compare yourself to anybody, because everybody's walk is designed for them. If it was meant for everybody to be the same, we'll be the Lollipop Guild with green hair and short. Everybody. D, I said the Lollipop Guild because we was just talking about it. That's right, D. That's right, D. That's right. That's right. We got to, and we got to proclaim, confess, declare, decree these things over our lives, and it will manifest. It will manifest in your life. You'll see it, you'll feel it, and you'll know that this was the right way to go. Release. Okay, oh man, y'all. I'm on 9. I got 3 more. Okay. 10. Set many goals for yourself each day. Bitterness is a powerful tie, and best intentions to do things like try new things and be mindful can soon be caught in its tug. The way around this is to not just make big goals, but also small goals every morning that keep you on the road away from bitterness. From meditating for 10 minutes, listen, I love meditating. I love getting in the presence of God and sitting there in quiet so that I can hear him clearly. Not my own thoughts, not my insecurities, not my anger, not that bitter bee in the back. They'll be like, Quiet the noise. Because everybody got all of those qualifications, all of those people, all of those emotions rather in our life, in us. So meditating for 10 minutes, to doing the research to find 3 possible schools that offer language. They're just telling you feeling a failure is the opposite of what you want here. I read too much. Okay. 11, try a new perspective. Okay. A mood of embitterment can have us seeing life from a very narrow perspective indeed. A great coaching tool to help you move forward in life is to imagine what the situation you are struggling with would look like from a different viewpoint entirely. You got to get the shows about perspective, guys, because it's not only one way to view things. There's so many different ways to view things. If you are a giraffe, right, and your friend is a turtle, you are going to see farther than that turtle because of your vantage point. Be open to hearing what people have to say and different perspectives on how to deal with it. Okay? Now, 12 is seek support. Yes, we keep saying it, but the truth is that bitterness can be quite the battle to move on from. And sometimes the strongest tactic and easiest way forward is to accept help. If your friends and loved ones are great listeners with no agenda, perfect. But if you need an unbiased viewpoint and a place you don't feel judged, again, try a support group, a counselor, or a psychotherapist. Okay? These are important keys. Okay? So, how did y'all like that? I like that. Now, it says, is bitterness a feeling? It says resentment, also called as ranklement or bitterness, is a complex, multi-layered emotion that has been described as a mixture of disappointment, disgust, anger, and fear. Other psychologists consider it a mood or a secondary emotion. Oh, I took all of those, but then I just read it from there. I'm just making sure my notes is all complete. Now, about better, okay? Because this whole show was about bitterness, because we deal with bitterness more than we deal with the better, okay? So, how you can gauge if you've allowed bitterness to overtake you is to simply reevaluate the different things that you've gone through. And if you have a positive outlook on the situation, if you've learned something and understand what you were meant to learn, then you're moving on to better. Okay? If in all you're getting, get understanding. Okay? In all you're getting, get understanding. When you're better, you're able to accept things a little bit better. You'll release it quicker. I like that, Nutties. Bitterness destroys the better being of a person. It does. It steals your shine. It steals your light. And we don't even realize that it's stealing our light because that's just how we've been. We've just been bitter. And some of us been bitter so long, we don't even realize that we've been bitter. But to be better, I use this analogy. When you go through something in your life, situations and circumstances in your life, put those circumstances and situation in a colander. You know what a colander is? That's what you let the water for the spaghetti go out, right? You pour that relationship, that situation, that circumstance in that colander. But you have to be truthful with yourself. That's the only way this is going to work, okay? You have to be truthful. Whether you want to be truthful with others or not, but to thine own self, be true. Okay? Stop playing with it. Now, when you throw it in, whatever goes down the drain wasn't meant for you. So that was that pain, that was those words, that was all of that. But what you learned is that those characteristics that you thought was also becoming, it's not so becoming no more. And those are the signs and the warning signs that you need to look out for going forward. Like these are the things like, okay, so this is what I have to pay attention to now. So I will never be sucked up in this place again. You have to do this. You understand what I mean? And you have to learn from your mistakes, or you're going to have the woe is me all the time. And believe me, I just started learning from my mistakes. I'm not a pro at this, but what I am saying is that I'm learning, and I will not allow people, places, or things to dictate my mood, okay? And will not take me out of my character. My character is a happy person, a silly person, a funny person. My goal in life is to make people laugh. If I can make you laugh, then baby, I love you. You know, I want to make you laugh. I want to make you smile. You know, we sing that to God, but I want to make people smile because sometimes people just need to smile. Sometimes people just need to laugh. Have you ever been so sad that somebody came around and made you laugh and shifted everything in you? I have a friend named Tiffany. That is her job. That is her job. Here we go. Whenever we do this. Oh, my grandson is on the phone because I'm still on. All right, y'all. My grandson is calling. Look. But anyway, just to wrap it up, allow your better to propel you. Look at it from a different vantage point. Make sure that when you're going through your process and after the situation is over and after you've forgiven that person and forgiven yourself, make sure that you release. Make sure that you journal your feelings. Make sure that you're honest with yourself. Make sure that you understand why you went through it. Understand also that that rejection is protection, and sometimes God just don't want that person in your life, and that's why it didn't work. And it didn't have anything to do with you. It was just the fact that he thought more highly of you than you did yourself. And on that note, guys, I want to say I love you, and I want to thank you for tuning in to At the Root of It tonight. I hope that this information has helped you in any way, because it surely has helped me. And it has even helped me to the point where I'm really releasing everything that has happened to me from this point back. I don't want it. I don't need it. It helped me get where I'm supposed to be. And believe me, when people think that they're doing stuff to you and they think that they're doing something to affect you, the best way that you can show them is by doing even better than you were before. Okay? To live your life to the fullest and never, 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 never let them see you sweat. Now, before I leave, please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, At the Root of It on YouTube. Please subscribe. Also, just remember that we have our Patreon that will be coming up. All right? July 1st, the videos will be available. Remember that your subscription is, you can choose from the prescription, $5, $10, $20. But we will be starting our self-love journey in July, and only the people who subscribe to my Patreon channel and subscribe to that membership will have privy to that information. So it will be patreon.com/ATROI, which it stands for At the Root of It. Again, it'll have exclusive content, like my sister said, exclusive. It won't be available on Facebook or YouTube. Only if you are a member will you be able to get that information and get those videos. Now remember, it's only 10-minute snippets. It's not long, it's not an hour, but it's just things to get you through your day. And our focus is self-love. We're gonna begin to love on ourselves so that we can spread love abroad. Because God says love covers a multitude of sin. But if we can't love ourselves, we can't love other people correctly. Okay? Now remember, we have journals that is on sale, and I'm sorry I don't have it on me right now. Couldn't find it before I had to go live, but it's okay. Yeah, I've seen it before. We have pens and journals to start with our self-love challenge. Please, if you want that information, let me bring this up real quick. If you want that information, I'm trying to get you my website. Nope, not the website, but where is it? The website is not done yet, but I will be working on the website. I'm trying to put my here it is. Sorry, y'all. If y'all want anything as far as the journals, or if you want more information about the Patreon, please email me at therootofitviewers@gmail.com. Remember, Patreon is only, now if you don't want to do the $20 a month, you don't have to, but you will also be supporting At the Root of It so that we can continue to take this journey, okay, to self-love and healing. And that we build a community of both men and women that really want this, that really desires change. Okay? I love y'all. Yay, y'all want journals? We got it. We gonna get it to you, okay? Love you guys. Again, Patreon. Go to the patreon.com/@the-root-of-it. Till we meet again next week, love and peace to you. I hope that the show was really enlightening, because it was definitely enlightening to me. Thank you for all of my viewers that always support me every week. I'm so grateful for you guys. I love you guys so much. Until we meet again, love, peace, and hair grease. Nah. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all.
Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it. Ow.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. Take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one.